a lunchtime cup of tea, a morning cup of tea, just a daytime cup of tea, but a very small one, maybe a cup with a little saucer on it. These are the questions.
A shot. It's like a little...
A shot of tea. A shot of tea. I like it. Probably wouldn't still have 2 sugars in the shot of tea, to be fair. But these are the questions we didn't quite get round to last night. So we're shoehorning them in here for a little bit of a morning, lunchtime capers, Geo. You got some questions left over, mate.
YouTubers, the people that submit them on YouTube prior to us going live. So here's some questions. Mills, do you think players like Yarmolenko, Wilshere and Alexander Silva need to be given more chances?
I think it's horrendous that they don't and they haven't. I really do, particularly as it's just not working. For different reasons. Look, Silva, because we don't have a striker. If you're not going to use one of the 2 strikers on the bench, what's the point of it, Gio? And you've said this before with Hugo, as you mentioned earlier. Apparently, somebody mentioned he's doing really, really well in training. But there's got to be some value to that. There's got to be some currency to doing well in training. That has to then transmit that some reward. If you do well in training, you get to play. It's no good. The same with Jack Wilshere is praising this guy. He said Jack's been the fittest he's been in years. Good. Play him then. Because if that is the fittest Jack Wilshere's been in years, he'll be, well, actually, without Declan Rice, but he'll be our best midfielder. That's got to be something. Yarmolenko, why isn't he been... Clearly, when things are not working, whatever, move Bowen over to the other side. Put Yarmolenko on, do something. Move Bowen up front. Give him a go, at least. Bring him on. Or just, even if you're not going to start these guys, after 50, 60 minutes, if it ain't working, bring them on. He's petrified. He's frozen. He's completely he's paralysed, basically. He's paralysed into inactivity.
Yeah. I think even if he doesn't bring him on the hour mark, I get why perhaps we want to take a risk at 0-0 or 1-0 down. There's safe subs you can do. But when you're 2-0 down, your players are knackered and you've essentially got nothing left to lose for the last 10 minutes. Fans will understand. Fans will say, all right, you've taken off Bowen, you put Silva on, you're protecting Bowen for the next game, you're giving Silva 10 minutes. Jack Wilshere isn't fit, then he needs minutes. But if he is fit, then he needs on the pitch. So I don't understand why he wouldn't be on the pitch either way. At least be seen to trying something. To only make 2 subs is just a waste. You're responsible for the confidence of these players, and it can't do anyone's confidence well. The group, when your team's 2-0 down, they're all knackered. The players can see they're knackered. They're looking at out of the pitch, looking at the teammates crawling around, and the manager's just ignoring you. I mean, you must be thinking, what's the point in this? Why am I here? You might be allowed to have 9 subs on the bench, but there's not really much point of half of us being on it, is there, Dave? We're only here to make up the numbers, really.
Well, sorry, while you're there on it, why did he say I don't want? I said I'd rather not have 9 substitutes. Why wouldn't you want 20?
Because
why is 7 better than 9? That's weird.
I don't know, but the thing is, like, it's almost cutting your nose off to spite your face. If you don't want it, that's fair enough. But you've got it, so get on with it and utilise it correctly. Otherwise, those that do utilise it correctly are going to slap your bum. Come the end of the season, could you imagine saying to a manager, let's say we go around Villa Strip, Dean Smith, you stayed up in the last day, how do you feel about it? Well, it was that 4th and 5th sub I'd done. Thank God for this new rule. It's really saved us and kept us up. David, you only done 2. I don't like the new rule. Yeah, well, maybe not, but you're in the Championship now, aren't you? Because a guy who's just got on with it has utilised it correctly. I don't like change. I hate when change happens. I stomped around Tesco the first time I went during lockdown. There's arrows on the ground. I thought, hang on a minute, I don't like this. Or they move something. Go up the aisle to get my tomato ketchup, and it's like, hang on a minute, it's not, where's it going? You go ask someone, they say, oh, it's way over there, it's next to the freezer aisle now. Like, why have you moved it? What have you done that for? But the point is, you just get on with it. I don't not buy ketchup, do I? I don't go, well, that's it, I'm not having any.
You look like you're eating a lot of ketchup.
I have eaten a lot of ketchup. I wear it as well. Right, Hammer 1999. Hi lads, my main question is, if we go down, who should our manager be? For him, it's Djokovic. I can't say his name. The Fulham guy, the old Fulham manager. Proven championship record.
Something
like that. Proven championship record. Attractive football. So who would you like if we got relegated?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, he got sacked, though, didn't he? So that doesn't bode.
It's because they didn't come up, isn't it? They didn't get it. They didn't quite make it up. So they obviously thought, because he was well backed for a championship team. He was well backed.
Yeah, I think Bielsa looks like trouble, really, doesn't it? So you couldn't pick him. Would we take Slav back? I think is really the question there. Would we take Slav back with a new backroom team? Because I do think that was a hindrance from before, particularly with the fitness stuff. And I probably would, Gio. I would. That would probably be my choice. Whether you'd get him is another matter, but you could say that about anyone. That would excite me. You spoke about would we be looking forward to the first game of the season? With David Moyes in charge. I'll tell you what, we'd be looking forward to the first game of the season with Bilic in charge.
Yeah, that's true. But I almost don't want him to come back because of how nice he is as a man. If that makes sense. I don't think we deserve him. Like I say, we as a football club, the owners don't deserve him. If they rang him up, I'd like to think he'd hang up on them. Say, you must be joking.
Well, David Moyes should have hung up on him.
But the difference is, Slav's a good manager, so we'll get another job. David Moyes is not a good manager, so he won't get another job. There's a big difference there. But it's also Bilic. We thought, well, I'm going to go. He went to a really random country, didn't he? Where did he go? It was India or something. He went to a really strange country for a little bit. Then that didn't work.
What, to play football?
No, as manager after West Ham. Yeah, Slav went to... I want to say it was India, but I'm not sure.
Just not a football type country. Not a country with a big football league.
It was a really random...
Was he national manager?
No, he was a club manager in maybe it was like Saudi Arabia or something.
Kazakhstan?
He went to I'm telling you, he went to a really random country, didn't do very well. Then when he come back, and he just waited until he got the West Brom job. But I don't know, who would I get if we went down? Honestly, I would go for Fark, the Norwich manager, because he's going down as well.
That's your own business. And certainly not in the lunchtime video.
It's because we're paying tings, isn't it?
That's so.
You might have had to watch a cup of tea for that reference, but
yeah. Well, you probably if you haven't, and you've got the way you view Hammer's chat all wrong. If you're watching this and not watch Hammer's tea, isn't it?
Yeah, Fark would be for me. I do think he plays good football, and he got Norwich punching above his weight in Championship. They conceded a lot of goals, but that's fine because they scored a lot of goals, and that's how I want to see football played. And I think.
He's got the voice of a lady.
He does, but he looks like a real grizzly bear, though, doesn't he? He looks really...
He doesn't look like an attractive lady.
No, he doesn't.
You won't want to fark him.
That was a good one. I'll give you that one. That was a good one. That's top tier joke, that. Someone's asking if Moyes can bring us forward. We've answered that one. Michael, he's asking more of just an information question. Do you know if this is right? The club can't be sold by Sullivan and Gold until 21 because of a clause in the stadium contract. He's read it on Facebook. You can't find it again.
Well, they can, but they just get heavily financially
also, the year's wrong. It's 23, not 21.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It just
the penalty's not that big actually. It's under 10 million.
No, but if it's a ratcheted percentage, it basically goes down. So any profit above what they paid for it, it starts off 20. So if they sold it last year, 20% goes to the taxpayer, and then after it starts to go down, then it's 10%, then it's 5%, and it's 2.5%. So it goes down, but they can sell it at any point.
It's not even 10% of the overall, though. It's something to do with like the first 250 million safe, and then it's 10% of that. And by the time you've actually got your percentage, it's like under 10 million.
It's 10
million out of like a 400 million pound sale of the club. So I don't think it's that big a contributing factor as I once thought it was, the reason they were hanging on. But I look at it now and I think, would you really? You're going to get 400 million. Would you really stick around when it's only going to cost you 10 million? How greedy are you going to be? Starlight Polestar, given that we're in a vast universe, given that we do not know everything, would you like a crumpet?
Is that his question?
We always get a food question. We never got one last night, did we?
I know, but it started off so
very philosophical as well. And
his name is a cosmic name, and then it started off
in the universe
with a sort of cosmology, and then we ended up on crumpet. I went and got 6 crumpets earlier. The other day,
lucky man,
we got a Tesco near where I live. We got a Tesco next to Marks and Spencer's, and there was just the queue. The queue for the Tesco was absolutely ridiculous. I needed a couple of bits. I thought, right, I know it's expensive. Going to Marks and Spencer's, and I got so I said and in a pack of 8, the ultimate crumpet. Oh, well, if you're going to give it a title like that, it's got to be special. That's what it tasted like, a standard crumpet. There you go.
You got catfished by a crumpet.
I certainly did.
You got crumpeted.
It was a ruse.
Crumpet fished.
Yeah, I did. I really did. Yeah.
I wouldn't like a crumpet now. It's too hot for a crumpet. It's quite a kind of food to eat, if you know what I mean. I mean, I struggled to drink my tea last night when we were doing a cup of tea. I struggled to drink that.
Sorry, when you just said last night, what were we talking about?
You're going to confuse the viewers now. Someone there, I know I asked this last time, I can't remember your answer. Someone said, would you sack? Are you Moyes in or Moyes out? Like right now, right this second. Would you pull the trigger on him, or would you?
No.
Not like, literally.
Shoot him, not kill him. No. No, I quite like him. Yeah, if I thought there was an option. But it's just, because I know there's not, that's why I sort of try and give him my support in that sense. Yeah, but in all honesty, if I heard on the news now that he'd been sacked and Nolan was taking over for the rest of the season, I'd probably feel a little bit more positive, a little bit more excited, and feel that we'd probably have a go. But I do mean what I say. I'm not convinced we're going down. I'm not convinced
I'd get rid of him because I'm scared. We're just sleepwalking towards that bottom 3, and whenever I listen to Moyes before or after the game, he does not inspire me whatsoever. I get no confidence in him. He doesn't say anything that makes me think he's on it. He knows what the issue is here. There's none of that. He doesn't come out and say, I've messed up the subs. If against Chelsea he makes 5 subs, I might get a bit of encouragement here if he starts doing something different. But he's doing the same stuff every game, and it's not just after lockdowns, before lockdown as well. It was in his first tenure here as well. Everybody was pulling their hair about his subs. He's just continuing the same thing. And he's such a stubborn man. A lot of people are stubborn generally. A lot of managers are stubborn. But he's one of the ones that are like, he's right up there in terms of just, I am right and I will fold my arms. You know, this guy turned up with the audacity to sit there with a straight face and say, winning is what I do. I win games. I'm here to win games. He said it with the straightest of faces. Then before the game, he puffed out his chest and says, substitutions are very important. I think, Christ, do you even know your record of West Ham? I don't even think he knows he's the worst West Ham manager in all time. I think someone should almost sit him down and say, look, Dave, are you aware?
Well, he petered off towards the end. He started the sentence with real confidence. And he started off saying, I'm a winning manager. Manager's what I do. I certainly think within a certain number of managers, I might have one of the best records. As the sentence went on, it just got weaker and weaker.
That's fair.
It was a good, nice, confusing sentence.
That's where though you need a fan in the press room. So a fan could go, actually, Dave, mate, I know this. You're really not. You're like the same as Avram Grant. Who's Avram Grant? The guy who got us relegated. You're the same as him. You have to win your next 3 games to equal that. Never mind beat it, equal it. To equal our worst manager. Right, last question for the lunchtime video. And this is quite a good point. I've never considered this. It's from Niall Green. So Niall, big up for the question. Is a short break between seasons and the likely high turnover of players, obviously in a closed season, justification for keeping David Moyes in charge, thinking about continuity for next season? Because obviously normally you stop in May, don't you? Then you don't get going again until August. So you've got June, July. So if you are going to sack your manager and bring someone in, you've got 2.5, 3 months between the last and first game. This season you've got about 4 weeks. You stop at the end of July. They're going again at the start of September. You've got the month of August, essentially. So I've never considered that.
No, it is a very, very good question. Very perceptive. No, I don't think it should play any part, though. I've got to say, I really don't. I really don't. But look, let's just be fair, because we've given him. We've been quite scathing about his abilities, both now and in the cup of tea before. He did He did make us a little bit more confident before the end, just before lockdown happened. Things were looking like they were starting to get our way. I would just like to know what he planned to do in terms of bringing players in. So look, things might change. He might instill a little bit of confidence, but I think if what we do is we crawl and fall over and stumble our way to safety, then I think it doesn't matter whether you've got 3 months or you've got 4 weeks. I think, well, I'm certainly if we fall and crawl and stumble our way to relegation, I don't think the continuity should really play any part in it, because I do think he'll have had a couple of stints at it. I think then he likes to look at his Everton record, but I think actually at that point you'd probably gonna have to rather look at what he did at Everton is really look at what he did with us in 2 stints and Sunderland. The other stuff is too far away, and I think when you would weigh that up, I think it would probably be better off to get someone fresh in. And let's be fair, people come in middle of the season and do better jobs, with the next game. And they certainly don't even have 4 weeks. They have some people have 4 days. They come in and do a better job. So no, I wouldn't let that play.
No, I wouldn't either. I think for sort of non-disaster appointment, saying Nigel Pearson keeps Watford up, I think you keep him maybe and use this as a reason because we don't have that long. Let's just keep him and see how it goes. Arteta, Arsenal, it's not going great for them at the minute, but he's here now. Let's just keep him going. But this isn't Moyes' squad yet, and I think that's important, because if you go get a new manager, he's not coming in to work with half of Pellegrini's and half of Moyes' squad. He's coming in to work with Pellegrini's squad plus Bowen and Souček. And they are players I'd imagine most managers would want to work with anyway. So before you let Moyes start ripping players out and putting his own players in, and then if it goes tits up in a year, your new manager comes in, he's going to have a bit of Moyes, a bit of Pellegrini, a bit of Slav, some of Slav squad still here, So before we get to that point, I think arguably this is the right summer to have a wake-up call and start thinking about the long term of West Ham. Can you see David Moyes here in 3 years? And if the answer is no, let's get rid of him now and get someone in that we can close our eyes and say, yes, I can see that guy. Can you see Hasenhüttl at Southampton in 3 years? Yes. Can you see Rodgers at Leicester? Yeah. Can you see Nuno at Wolves? Now, I know you may say, well, no, I think they might go to a better club. But apart from that,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can you see Hodgson at Palace? No, because of his age. Can I see Bruce at Newcastle? No, I can't, because of their ambitions of their club or whatever. But can I see Moyes at West Ham? No, I can't, because of his ability.
No.
So for that reason, why I just feel like we'd be not only prolonging the decision and the inevitable, which is him leaving, we'd also allow him to spend money and change the squad in the meantime, which is just ridiculous if you ask me. But you have to then have someone that you can close your eyes and say, will Niko Kovac be here in 3 years' time? Yes. All right, well, maybe we'll go get him. There's no point going and getting Chris Shooting or someone like that. You have to get it.
Oh, no.
You have to get a long-term appointment that's going to change the culture of the football club, come with an ethos, a way of playing, and stamp it down, because if the board don't use this season as a wake-up call, there's just no helping them whatsoever. They've had some close shaves, but they've never had something as close as this, apart from when we actually did get relegated. But I will accept that wasn't 100% their fault. The appointment of Grant was, but they were new to West Ham and so on. They don't have that excuse anymore. And they've got to do something drastic. So is there anything else you'd like to say, Gonzo? I'll let you wrap it up. This is this is the channel that you host. So over to you, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my lobster skinned cohort there. Just one thing, just to wrap up there. You mentioned Roy Hodgson. I think probably the biggest damning indictment of it really is that Moyes has somehow got to a position in his career where Roy Hodgson looks to be twice as good a manager as David Moyes, and that was never meant to be the case really. And Moyes was the next, did wonderful things at Everton, was the next Manchester United manager, and so on and so forth. And it was Hodgson that was just the journeyman. And actually, he does look twice as good, to the point where you thought if we had Hodgson in charge at the moment, we would get out of relegation. I'd be quite, because he is someone that is defensive, but he makes it work and he makes it stick. Albeit they got thumped by Liverpool the other night, but Liverpool could thump pretty much anyone, couldn't they? Anyway, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. to everybody that's been uploading the videos. Well, thanks for tuning into them. Thanks for interacting with them on the comments. It's really great. I know everybody that uploads really appreciates it, and it's a, you know, it's a hell of a thing to send your video in and upload it, and I think it's really good when it gets received well. So thank you very much, and thank you for everybody that sent them in. We love it that we can give you a platform to. I was going to say to have your say, but it's vent frustrations at the moment. So thank you very much for that. And Geo, when are we back next? Preview
our preview's on Monday, but we'll have videos over the weekend.
Yeah, we'll have videos on both channels all the time. We'll catch up with you very soon.